on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host, Sarah Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content today. In the Chicago Bulls, the final score doesn't look as bad. The Bulls lose by 14, but this is a game where the Chicago Bulls, after the end of the first half, were down 54-33. And the Bulls only scored 33 points in the entirety of the first half of the game, scored 34 points in each of the third and fourth quarter, and still lose by 14. This is why playing a full 4 quarters of basketball is important. Let's get this scoreboard out the way. I don't know why that looks the way that it does. And so, like, and the Celtics clearly let their foot off the gas, too, so that plays a huge part into it as well. But this is just an embarrassing loss by the Chicago Bulls, man. I get it that we're missing some key players, especially with size. The rebounding advantage was huge in this one. You look at, the Boston Celtics had 20 offensive rebounds in this game, 20 of them. The Bulls only had 6. And so it just contributed to how the Bulls just weren't ready in this game. The Boston Celtics had 26 second chance points in this game. They also had 19 points off turnovers. Those two things alone, just one of those put you in a really good position to win a game. The fact that they won it the way that they did, the Bulls had 13 turnovers in this game. The Boston Celtics had 48 points off the bench, 34 points in the paint, 26 points off second chance, 15 fast break points. The Bulls just weren't ready in this game. They weren't ready. They weren't prepared. And, yeah, that's just what it is, man. Buzelis led the Chicago Bulls in scoring today. He with 26 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block as well to go with his 2 turnovers. You had 15 points from Nikola Vucevic. 13 of those points came in the second half of the game. 10 points from Trey Jones, 8 from Kevin Huerter. Kobe White went 2 of 7 for only 5 points in this game. He got 15 from Ayo Dosunmu. But just overall, the Bulls were just outclassed, outworked, and outgunned in this game. And unfortunately, the Bulls just, once again, another game where they're settling for too many three-pointers. The Bulls took 86 shots in this game. 46 of those shots were three-pointers. We're not a good enough three-point shooting team to be shooting that large of over half of our shots to come from the three-point line. It's just, it's not like, that's not the way to get this done. That comes down to coaching. Y'all know, Brian is my guy. But the one thing that I talk about, like, I'm not blaming everything on Billy Donovan. I want to be clear. I don't think everything's on Billy Donovan. But when you look at a coach that's basically told the players, don't shoot the mid-range, be this high-volume three-point shooting team that we don't have the roster to be at all, it's asinine. And, again, I'm not blaming everything on Billy Donovan. Some of this is on the players for sure. A lot of it's on the players for sure and the way that they perform night in and night out. But, you know, even the fact that the Bulls, you know, scored 68 points in the second half of this game, the Boston Celtics knew that this was their game to win. They knew that no matter what happened, they were going to win this game. They had no reason to come into the second half and be like, oh, let's keep our foot on the gas. No, they had more than enough time to take their foot off the gas and then come back and still win this game, which is exactly what they did. The Bulls got the lead down to, I think, 9 at one point in time, and the Boston Celtics immediately got it right back up to like 13 immediately. So, you know, this is the Bulls who have, now they're 500 against teams above 500. So now they're 10-10 against teams above 500 on the season. But, you know, it just, unfortunately enough, injuries do matter. And I'm not going to act like missing Josh Giddey, Zach Collins, Jalen Smith does not matter in that. Kobe was back in this game, but not really, right? It matters. But this is the type of performance and the stylistically, the reason why the Bulls lose so many games is because they play like ass. And that's what this game was. They played like ass. And they settled for bad three-point shots. You're not going to win very many basketball games selling for bad three-point shots like that. You're just not. And the Boston Celtics are the better team anyway. I want to be clear. They are the better team. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But you had a game where Jaylen Brown, who's averaging damn near 30, only had to score 14 points today. Jaylen Brown went 6 of 24 from the field today. Terrible shooting night for Jaylen Brown. Derek White was 3 of 15 today. Peyton Pritchard was 8 of 17. So out of their 3 best players, only one had an efficient shooting night, and they still beat us by 14 points. Like, you had Anthony Simon score 27 on you. Coming off the bench, everybody know he's trade bait for this Celtics team. Man, this team is just, hey, this is where we are at this point in the season. This is where we are, and I doubt it's going to change anytime soon, but hey, it just is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't, and the Bulls play like a taint. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. I don't know what to tell y'all. But, yeah, this ain't going to get it done. This ain't going to get it done at all. Ain't going to get it done. Hayes, when you get your ass whooped by a team who two main players had a little bit of a rough night, something is wrong with your coaching. Listen, people who want to act like Billy Donovan isn't at least part of the problem are crazy. Just like I think people who blame all of the problem with Billy Donovan are crazy as well. But, like, Billy definitely has his place in what's going on with this Bulls team. I think I'm going to pull a Hayes and not wear Bulls merch for a week. I get with injuries, but still, this team is just night and day. Well, I mean, let's be clear here, though. The Bulls are 6-4 in their last 10. So it's not like the Bulls haven't been, it's the Bulls. It's a mixed bag. If I was a suspicious mind, I'd say the Bulls are showing everyone come the trade down. Showing everyone. Listen, if you think they're trading everybody or even really thinking about it, you're crazy. C-Dub was right. Why they iced Modest in the fourth, let him cook. The other starters couldn't score. I mean, you got to – here's the thing, though. People who say stuff like that, I think you got to realize players have to sit down. Modest Buzelis scored 10 points in the fourth quarter of this game. Like, and Vooch scored 13. I can't say that they iced him when he took the second most shots. Players are going to slow down. These players are human. This isn't 2K where they can just shoot all day. They do get tired, and, Modest is not used to carrying this type of load. Kobe had 4 turnovers again. I'm not hating on him, but he's not playing consistently. I mean, listen, this is his first game back from injury. You could clearly tell Kobe wasn't Kobe at all today. I almost would have rather them just sit. I know you need to get reps, but Kobe was not Kobe today. You had four turnovers on 5 points. It's not a good night for Kobe at all, not even a little bit. I think it's time. I think Acme Billy experiment has run its course at this point. Move Billy to the front office and start planning for the next year. Tired of playing Connect Four when they playing chess. Listen, you can say all that, and I feel where you're coming from. Ain't none of that shit changing, though. Very winnable game. Sutton doesn't even play good for real. No rhythm. Listen, you can't say that. I don't know if you're just judging off the box score. The Celtics came in and executed in the first half of this game. This was not a winnable game. It looked like it was more winnable because the Celtics took their foot off the gas in the second half of this game. But if you watch that first half, regardless of whatever Jaylen Brown was shooting and Derek White was shooting, they dominated the Chicago Bulls. In the first half of this game, they had almost as many offensive rebounds as the Bulls had rebounds. This was not a winnable game. This was never a winnable game. The effort and intensity in the first half was god-awful. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Dalen and Modest still don't know what is box out in this era. All the players only care about offense. First of all, I need you to care about your spelling a little bit better, my boy. Why are you talking about them only caring about offense? And why didn't we go after Simons? Because we couldn't match what the Celtics traded for him. Hayes, I know it's the difference between football and basketball, but if we learned anything from Chicago Bears this year, is that a coach can change a lot about a team. Well, listen, but let's also be clear. Along with Ben Johnson, we completely revamped the offensive line. We went out and got players that fit his scheme, absolutely. So it wasn't just the coaching. Like, it would be different if we hired Ben Johnson and we kept the team relatively the same and had the success. A lot did change as far as the roster as well on the offensive side of the ball. Fire Billy, for the love of God. Trade Vooch. Outside of Josh Modest Isle, there is not a single player I'm interested in keeping on this roster. Love to see Modest balling since Josh been out, though. I mean, and that was something that I did call for, right? I did want to see what Modest was going to look like with him having now opportunity to just score more. The Bulls have needed his scoring, and he's responded to that pretty damn well. It hasn't been perfect, and I wouldn't act like Modest still has to get better defensively. I'm not expecting Modest to ever be a lockdown defender or anything like that. That's not what I'm expecting from him. But I do want to see Modest Buzelis become just a more well-rounded player. And I want to see him not get bullied around so much. But over the last 4 games, Miles Buzelis is averaging 20.8 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists. He's shooting the ball 50% from the field and 31% from three. Miles has been doing pretty damn good the last 4 games, man. Pretty damn good. Hayes, I swear I saw Billy chew a piece of gum into dust this game. Listen, I mean, that would mean that he's showing some type of emotion out there, so there you go. Hayes, what's your thoughts on Jock Landale from Memphis? He's unrestricted free agent after the end of the season. Would he be a good pickup? I mean, he'd be perfect for like a backup, but he's not. We need to find a starting level big. I'm fine with our backups. Zach Collins and Jalen Smith can stay here as the backup bigs on this roster. We need a starting caliber big man. We need a big man that can switch. Like I said, I'm not mad at Jock Landale. I like him as a rotational big, but I'll say this. I don't think that Jock Landale is anything that Lachlan Albert can't become. So I need us to prioritize finding the starting center first. That's what I need us to happen. Did a dude named Tattoo Tim do on my left arm? This one? My daughter's name? You talking? This is my right arm. You talking about this one? Which one are you talking about? But no, both of these were done by the same person. I got these done in T-Dogs in St. Louis, Missouri. That's where these came from. Then the chest one, that was done here. All my hand tattoos have been done here. But no, I've never gotten my tattoo from somebody named Tattoo Tim. Billy is the biggest problem. I disagree. I think if you actually go out and get a rim protecting switchable center, I think Billy can coach it pretty well. I'm not going to say that we can be that he's going to unlock the ceiling, but I don't think Billy Donovan, roster construction is still the biggest problem on this team. We don't have any defenders, really. I know Isaac Okoro was supposed to be a defender. If you look at the defensive metrics for him, they're not good. I mean, they're just not good. So we have no defenders. We have no defensive big. We have no rim protection for real, even though Kevin Huerter and Miles Buzelis, I think, are both averaging over a block per game. You need more than that. So I still think roster construction is still our biggest problem right now. Yeah, Jalen was playing around with Vooch. Those switches killed us. Absolutely killed us. Absolutely. If Giddey isn't playing, the Bulls don't have a real playmaker. There's some good passers like Trey, but the offense today was just straight shot chucking, bro. Oh, yeah, listen, and this is why I always say is the difference between Trey and Josh Giddey. Trey Jones is a really good passer. He's going to be able to thread that needle. Josh Giddey is a shot creator. He creates open shots for his team. So it's different, right? And when you're lacking that, it's going to change the flow of your offense quite considerably. So you're spot on there. Spot on. Friday we could see Modest versus Flag in Chicago. I mean, cool. I don't give a fuck about any of that. And that's not me crapping on you, Jeremy. I know I usually give you shit. I'm not giving you shit on that one. I don't give a fuck about Modest versus nobody right now. Win some fucking games. That's what I care about. I don't give a damn about these novelty matchups. I don't give a damn about none of this shit right now. What I care about is, can you win some fucking basketball games? That's what I care about. Are you going to come out there and play like a bunch of bitches? That's what I care about. At this point, it'd be great for us to be like, I'd love to be that team, be like, hey, Anthony Edwards is coming in the building today. Ant versus Kobe, Ant versus I would love to be able to be that. But until this team starts winning more consistently, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. None of it. I don't care about none of that. Because until y'all start acting like y'all give a damn, why the hell I care about who's coming in town in some individual matchups? Go out there and win the goddamn game. Bulls need to bottom out to get any road traction as a true contender. His roster set up to be playing team. No, you don't have to bottom out to get track. That is such an asinine thought process, right? And the reason why I say that, look at the Denver Nuggets. Never bottomed out. Never won less than, I think, 38, 40 games. The OKC Thunder, they had 2 seasons of every year of their existence, they won over 40 games except 2. When this thought process of people thinking you gotta bottom out just to become, you don't. You need to draft smart. You need to make smart acquisitions, and you just need to be smart about how you maneuver in the way that you develop. Bottoming out ain't gonna help you if you still can't construct a roster. If you still because all you're gonna end up with is a star with nothing around him. You're gonna be the Portland Trailblazers with Dame Lillard. That's what you're gonna be. Bottoming out does not help any of the real things that are issuing the Chicago that are hurting the Chicago Bulls. It doesn't help at all. Hayes, I understand that you can't blame everything on Billy, but when you see your team struggling with the same problems year after year, that's a problem. Well, I mean, it's not the same struggles right now. Like, this is not the same. Us now selling for bad threes. We used to be a team that didn't take threes, where you didn't take enough, right? And I would say this, struggling with the same problems is also due to roster construction. AK is seeing the same problems with this roster. Where's the big that we need? Go and look at how many bigs the Chicago Bulls have passed up over the last 4 drafts that were there with their draft picks that are helping their teams right now. Let's go over it. Off the top of my head, right? This is just off the top of my head. Walker Kessler, we all know that one, right? There's another one. Damn, I had it, I lost it. So Walker Kessler, that's the first one we all know about that. Ryan Kalkbrenner right now with the Charlotte Hornets, look at what he's doing with that team. Damn, there's another one that I just lost off the top of my head too. There's another one. You also have to hold the front office accountable. A coach can only coach so much. Now, I'm not saying that Billy Donovan is the best. And I'm not saying if they fire Billy Donovan right now, I'm not worried about it. Fuck it, right? I'm not mad at that. But until AK starts looking at players and stops falling in love with players' ceilings and start looking at players with high floors, we're going to continue to be in this cycle. We're going to be in this cycle over and over again. Kobe's handle has become horrible. He fumbles the ball every second possession. That's crazy. Hayes, obviously starting big is what we need for rim protection, etc. Do you think this is a realistic pickup for us? You can find a starting caliber big. You got to be aggressive. But yeah, like I said, look, we've passed up starting caliber. If we drafted Walker Kessler over Dalen Terry right now, where are we at? Vooch would probably be coming off the bench. I know Walker Kessler's injured this season, but rim protection at least is not a problem at that point. It's just little things, man, little things. This franchise will never tank. They're never going to tank. Not as long as AK is running the show. Maybe I'm late. Any updates on getting? No, and we probably won't get any Deanna until his timeline was 2 weeks, right? So a week isn't until Wednesday. A Wednesday makes 7 days a week. So probably around there or a couple of days after is probably when you'll start hearing more about Josh Giddey. But once we get an update, I'll get a video out. So no worries there. Thank you for saying that. I'm sick of all these annoying tanking Bulls fans thinking tanking is the end-all, be-all for success. No, it's not the only path. Look at who Arturas has been drafting for you. Exactly. That's the issue. The Bulls have had players on the board that absolutely could have helped us that we didn't take. Hayes, I absolutely believe Billy is the biggest problem. He had the personnel on this roster and still couldn't figure it out. Andre Drummond's not a rim protector. So there you're wrong right there. Andre Drummond is, if you look at his rim protector, he is not a rim protector at all. Now, he's one of the best rebounding centers of this era for sure, but he's not a rim protector. Andre Drummond does some dumbass shit sometimes, and that's why you look at no team that he's been on since the Detroit Pistons has really played him, unless there's injuries, over about 16 to 18 minutes per game. So no, Andre Drummond was not going to be what solved the rim protection problem for this team. Andre Drummond's never been a great rim protector. He's never been that. Even if we are bottom feeder, look who's going to be our coach for development. Billy's bubblegum, Donovan, who prevents Modest from mid-range games. Who outside of Io and maybe Kobe has Billy developed? I mean, Lou Dort developed a little bit under Billy Donovan. You're right. Io definitely developed under Donovan. I think you got to give Derrick Jones Jr. became a really good player under Billy Donovan as well. Now, we just didn't play him enough. Kobe became a better player under Billy Donovan as well. Billy isn't horrible and we have a whole player development department, right? So, but I'll say this though. I don't know if it's the players that AK drafted or Billy's inability to develop, but either way, something got to give, right? Something got to give in that motherfucker, and we'll see. I've been watching the Bulls for 20 years and finding it hard to support this team as is. I don't want to rebuild, but I'm hoping AK can do what he did in the 2021 this offseason, I hope. Let's see. Thoughts on Nas? They're not letting Nas Reed go. So I'm not even going to give any thought of. They're not letting Nas Reed go. Picking Dalen Terry over Walker Kessler. And that goes the ceiling versus floor thing, right? Like Walker Kessler never had like where you're like, oh, he has the ceiling of being some superstar player. But AK looked at the potential of Dalen and said, listen, this guy has potential out the wazoo. Sometimes you just got to take the player with the high floor. You got to take the player with the high. Look at what Cedric Howard's doing. Sometimes you just got to take the guy with the high floor. Sometimes it feels like AK drafted JT and JP to stay mid. They know Billy can't develop. Where Julian Phillips was a second-round pick. That's why if you hear me bitch about picks, I never really complain about Julian Phillips because he's a second-round pick. Even the fact that he's able to get out on the floor and do some things that's better than most second-round picks. But the Dalen Terry one is crazy. It's definitely crazy. I believe Ryan Poole is going to do whatever he can to give us some defenders. However, if Acme doesn't give us any defenders other than guards, I'm going to be pissed. I mean, listen, if you get some point of attack defenders, it can help a lot. But I don't have much expectation for AK to go out there and get that. I'm not going to lie. When Charlotte's starting center fell in the second round, I just knew we were going to draft. Listen, Ryan Kalkbrenner, Rocco Zikarsky, these are two guys that we could have had. Now, I do like Lachlan. I like, make no mistake about it. I like Lachlan Albrick, but he doesn't have the ceiling of those guys. You look at Ryan Kalkbrenner's already a starting caliber center. So it's just those type of things, man. But we shall see what's going to happen. We shall see, man. But I appreciate you guys so much, as always, for tuning in. I don't have a lot about this loss to give. The Bulls suck. They sucked tonight. It was bad tonight. They were doing their best Mariah Mills impression today, and they was taking the back shots. That's just all it is. And they asked if they can get another, and that sucks. Who the fuck is ringing my doorbell at this time of night? Hold on, y'all. My son is here. Didn't expect him to be here. Give me 1 second, y'all. 1 second. All right, y'all. My bad. That's what happens when you have grown children. They pop up on you. But all right, y'all. I appreciate y'all so much, man. Make sure you guys are following us at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. BullCentralPod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. That's thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, stay safe, go Bulls, and always see red if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.